Comments and tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting. And this kickoff from left to right, SGS, a nice high long kick fielded by the Warwick Wolves. They got a lead blocker up the middle, managed to get past one tackler, and they're going to start. Well,
special teams is one of the most important parts of the day, so this is going to be huge.
10 yards from the flag. Down.
You know the technique, and that's what you have to ride with here.
So we have Pedro Rosselli in at quarterback, but the first snap goes over his head, and that's going to be, I believe, a safety on the first play from scrimmage.
Right, and so for centers, it is one of the toughest positions in the game.
And here is the kickoff, another high one, booming kick, and that's going to go over the head. I don't think SGS knew that the Warwick Wolves. And that's going to be a bit of a bobbled snap, and he's just going to keep it himself and turn it upfield. It's going to be a bit of a wide run. Backs in the backfield along the same side, and that's going to be a fake handoff to one. That's a lead block for another, and this is going to be a big run. Still going, breaks another tackle, trucks over someone. He doesn't get pulled down until before they get going. Well, now they have three running backs in the backfield, and that is Simon, who we talked about earlier today, and he's going to get about 5 before being dragged back by about 4. I'll tell you what the game plan was. It looks like they're going to be running it a lot. Just as I say that, a pass, and it's going to be a massive gain downfield. So they
discipline that they need here.
Now look at this formation. Their linemen got almost no splits on this. And that's a nice run up the middle. Look at the pancake. And they can just drive forward like that.
Absolutely, and using these kind of tighter formations. Great job by the outside containing there.
Yeah, you just field. Now they end up in this kind of beast formation with 3 backs on the right. And to Warwick's credit, that's probably the best their defense to get a score here. Malalta, sorry. And he's going to hand that off and get a nice run up the middle. Bring it inside the fucking right. Man in motion going out. This is going to be a QB keep this time, but it's not actually a QB because that's who we talked about, the man of the hour.
Line of scrimmage, you're looking at great balance as well and great vision.
And that kick is up and good for SG.
Ultimately.
Well, it's only one drive, so we'll have to see if they can rely on what you're talking about. As you said, you got to build on your strength. And here are the Wolves, and they get a return. He's coming towards the middle, I assume. Yeah, they got to design a bunch of blocks that way, but SGS burst through that, and they're picked up like that. But you know what? Still photogenic. Here we go, man in motion. That's another high snap, so that's 2 in a row. Well, at least this time it's not a safety. Because of any issues, it was just part of the game plan. But here they have under center, so it's a bit of a QB. No, it's like a little handoff on the inside. Well, there you go. A little bit of eating elephants, maybe.
I have a lot of experience eating in general.
Well, that's true. All right, here we go, another one. And that's a very similar play. It looks like a little bit of a misdirection. They saw more success doing that than anything else.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to be able to go back to. A little bit of a high punt, high snap.
And this ball looks like it's going to get a friendly bounce for Warwick. SGS going to not have a great chance to field that. Now with everyone in the box. I think it's literally all 11 players. They get a handoff up the middle. Found one good stutter step, and that's a much better tackle. 2 fullbacks and a running back all on the same side, and that's going to be a counter the other way. Now Simon outran his blocks a little bit on that. Otherwise, they'll probably clean it up because they're in the same formation again. That time, no counter steps, and they got the lead blocks, and he cuts it back. Different running back this time, and a really good tick. So this will be the first punt, if they do punt it, that is. And that's going to be a bad snap, and it looks like he gets it off, and it's going to get back to about the line of scrimmage. Position of the day. 3 receivers along the bottom of the screen. SGS looking to bring pressure. Slightly cleaner snap, but then it's still a tackle for a loss. That's a big.
Again, against a big D end, you've got to get low. Ooh.
This could be a free play if they let it go, and Warwick's going to throw it deep. Well, it doesn't matter.
Filton, right? Keep them on their heels. This is a great opportunity for Warwick.
5-yard replay, second down.
It's a bit different.
And that's where it's key as students. You've got to be able to train in the gym, be ready for any elements.
Now that is a much better play by the Warwick Wolves. A clean handoff and 3 or 4 broken tackles, and he's got in the red zone.
This is great. I mean, great block.
Just I say that.
Commentator's curse, I think they call that.
I literally just said it, and then SGS recovers a fumble, and I don't think it was forced.
To keep their eyes on the ball, don't let anything go.
Look at the size of that offensive line pushing forward, and that's going to be a big gain of about not Carey, who's also a team captain, snapping the ball and leading that charge. And that's going to be another first down. They're sticking with this formation. Lots of running backs, lots of up backs, probably another body within a foot of them. So you might see some defensive linemen get through and then just still not have anyone to go through.
Yeah.
And here we have a couple of stiff arms and a good fight by SGS, but better fight by Warwick on that play.